Hello, friends. It's Darren Cooper from DarrenCooperMusic.com, and you are listening to The Silent Creative, a podcast geared to help you turn down the noise so you can find your voice and create your art. Let's go. All right, so I know exactly why you're here. It's the title of this episode that totally got you, right? It hooked you because you're over there going, I gotta find out why this dude is saying that I am not a taco and what in the world is he talking about? Well, I promise you one thing, that it's not a bunch of clickbait just to get you to listen to this. We are actually going to talk about the fact that you are not a taco. But before we dive into that whole thing, I want to point you to Finding Oasis at DarrenCooperMusic.com, my new interactive single. It is there. You can download it. It gives you a PDF to walk through with the music, to take at least 5 minutes every day to catch your breath, to remember that you are good, that life is good, that being human is good. And it's just it's a process that I've done a handful of times in my life, and I'm hoping that it is an encouragement to you and something that you can use each and every day. And if not, the music's cool. Go check it out. I think it's a cool track. You'll love it. And if you don't, send it to your friend or your mom or something. It'll be great. But anyway, so let's talk about this for a second. The other day, as you do, I was flipping through, whatever term you want to use. I was going through Facebook, and I came across a quote that stopped me in my tracks. I gotta say that Facebook and Instagram and social media, with the memes and all the quotes and the things that you get bombarded by them, right? But this one stopped me dead in my tracks. I lost it, okay? Because the quote was this. It says, "You can't make everyone happy. You're not a taco." And I gotta tell you, that just hit me right in the gut. Not only was it hilarious and unexpected, I did not see that one coming. Because the first part caught me, oh, you can't make everyone happy. Oh, yeah, I know that. You're not a taco. Oh, my gosh. What a punchline. What a delivery. So the first thing that caught me was the taco part. Then the second part was, I kind of went, oh, man, that is so me. I am such a people pleaser. If you're into the Enneagram at all, I'm a 9 on the Enneagram, which is like the peacemaker. So I spend a majority of my life either trying to keep the balance between friends and business and coworkers and all that, or I spend time trying to keep peace in myself by making sure that you get what you want, that you are taken care of. And even the bad part of my personality can be that I morph into and I completely lose myself because I become everything that you want me to be. And you might think that sounds awesome, but for myself, it's easy for me to lose my voice. It is easy for me to lose my art, which is kind of part of the reason that I do this podcast, to continue to remind myself and hopefully encourage some other people along the way. But yeah, so I'm a 9 and I'm a people pleaser by nature. In growing up, especially in junior high, I got this random story for you, random tangent here, but I was in, I think it was 7th grade, and I am a people pleaser, so keep this in mind, right? So had a couple of friends. I was always the kid growing up that was very like, I followed the rules. Like if it said, do not cross, I did not cross. If it said walk this way, I walked that way. Like I was super there was a few things that I did that my parents didn't like, but like most of the time I was a good kid, right? And so there was a couple of guys that I got in with in junior high that were not the good kids, right? They were the opposite of what I was. And they kind of pressed the boundaries, and they would say things or do things and kind of rebel against the teacher or say things that they shouldn't. And I was started to kind of get in with them, and obviously because I wanted to keep the peace, well, maybe not keep the peace, but because I wanted to be a people pleaser, I began to kind of let them rub off on me a little bit. Not only am I a people pleaser, but also in junior high, let's be honest, we all just kind of do that in some capacity anyway, those awkward years, if you will. But I was hanging out with these guys, and they began to empty out their pens, right? So you had the ink pens. They would empty out their pens, and we began to spit wads at each other. Spit wads, spitballs, whatever you, depends on where you grew up, I guess. I don't know. But spit wads or spitballs that we begin to hit everybody with. And one time a teacher went out, and I think we probably had those things littered everywhere. It was hilarious. It was so fun until the teacher got back and we got totally busted. So now all of a sudden, this good kid that followed all of the rules, that did all of this, found himself in detention, borderline in-school suspension because I got in trouble so many times with this guy. It was crazy, right? It's because I was trying to be that people pleaser. And I know that is kind of funny and hilarious because it's junior high, but I think what happened was I grew up, and I kind of started to see that maybe those aren't the friends I need to hang out with. But what didn't grow up was that deep-seated idea of being that people pleaser or being the person that kept the peace. And so can you relate with that? And maybe you are that person, that rule follower, that peacemaker, that people pleaser, that it is so easy for you to lose your voice in the midst of all the stuff that's going on around you. And man, let me just say that I can 100% relate with that. And it's something that I've wrestled with, obviously, my whole entire life, and something I continue to wrestle with and have to continue to put in front of me that, hey, I can't please everybody. I'm not a taco. That's just dang funny. That's dang funny. But I can't please everybody. I am not a taco. And so even though I'm not perfect at this, there are a few things that I'm trying to do, some thoughts, some observations that might be a help to you as well. So I'm going to share them, and you can take them or leave them. I'm just going to put them out there because I'm not trying to people please at this point. I'm just going to put them out there. But the first thing that I am trying to do, or some ways that I'm trying to help myself not be a people pleaser, is to not answer right away. Somebody asks me to do something, somebody needs me to do something, I take just a few, either seconds, minutes, maybe hours, and I don't answer right away. That just gives me time to really think, to really process, and to even ask myself, who am I doing this for? Who am I doing this for? And so that's one thing that I'm trying to do. The other is to have a friend help. And what I mean by that is when I'm asked or when I feel like, oh man, am I saying this for me or am I saying this to please other people? I'm able to reach out. I'm able to say, hey, help me understand this. Is this me or is this like what's going on here? Kind of help me dig this out a little bit. And so that's been helpful and will continue to be helpful as I move forward on some things. And then the last thing is I'm setting my default answer to no. Too often it's just a quick yes, like just even in the midst of a conversation, hey, can you do that? Yes. And, barely have the question out of their mouth and they know that I am going to most likely say yes. Whether they know that that's me pleasing or trying to be a pleaser to them or not. I'm trying to change that default answer to no. That gives me time to think, to process, and then I can step back in. And so 3 things that I'm trying to do might be helpful to you. First, don't answer right away. Second, have a friend help you. And third, set your default answer to no. And so I don't know where that registers with you. I'm hoping that that's encouragement to you or to somebody that you know that you might go, man, I need to share this with them because they are a people pleaser and I see that 100% in them. And maybe you can just share that. If somebody shared this with you, don't be mad. They're just trying to help a brother or sister out a little bit. So just remember, you can't please everybody. You're not a taco. And that's so good. I'm sorry that is so good. Maybe that's because it's so close to like a dad joke, like it's borderline dad joke, that it just makes me so happy. So forgive me if that offends you in any way. But hopefully this is a help to you and also to myself as I move forward. But as we spend a few minutes here taking a breath, resting, remembering that you are good, that life is good, that even if you're struggling with being a people pleaser, that it is good to be human. As we spend a few minutes doing that, maybe just ask yourself this question: do I really want to be doing this? Whatever this is, do I really want to be doing this? Let's reflect on that now as we take a few minutes to rest. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for taking just a minute to catch your breath, maybe to start your day or to start your week. I'm hoping that this is an encouragement to you and something that you look forward to doing. I know that whenever I stop, allow the music to play, allow the music to kind of just bring me peace, it just changes everything. And so that's why I do this each and every week, is because it's such a powerful thing in my life. And so I'm hoping that's an encouragement to you. If you like what you hear, you can always get more of my music at darrencoopermusic.com. My interactive single, Finding Oasis, is there. Also, my debut album, The Beginning, is on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you stream your music, you can find it there. And so go check that out. I'd love for you to do so and let me know what you think. That'd be great. So as we continue, remember that you cannot please everybody. You are not a taco. And you are an artist, and that your voice is needed in this world, and that you are loved more than you could ever imagine. Remember that. Remember that. Let's go make it a good one. We'll see you next time.